Hello everybody and welcome to the stream. As always, my name is Shogun Shin and you are the audience, and it is Friday. We have once again made it to the end of another week, and to kick things off tonight, we are playing some more Umamusume Pretty Derby because the Capricorn Champions meeting has gone live today. It is day 1 of round 1 for this Champions meeting. It is a sprint on Chukyo turf of 1200 meters. So yeah, I actually completely forgot that it started today. So we're gonna do this first, and then we'll run through all of our attempts and all that good stuff. And then we can switch over to Veilguard. Maybe try to beat Veilguard tonight. I don't know how much we have left. I also don't know what we're doing in Veilguard anymore because it's been a hot minute. But we'll cross that bridge later tonight. Before all of that, Capricorn meeting today. I have made a handful of aces, but from what I was told, this champion meet is kind of just like you throw things at it and you hope for the best. It's not like a huge crazy strategy. It's like these are the skills you need, and whoever hits them will win. So apparently this champions meet is very just like RNG of like you roll the dice, and if you win, you win. If you don't, shrug. Okay, whatever. So we'll kind of see. But we have a we're going double pace chaser and 1 late surge. Actually, I was gonna go triple pace chaser for the sprint for the CM. But in all my testing, I actually found that my air groove as a late surger did like really well and was like really consistent. So I'm like, okay, you know what? Fine, we will be doing that instead. But so we have Fujikiseki as a pace chaser. We have Sakura Bakushin O also as a pace chaser. These will be our 2 pace chasers. And then we have Air Groove as our late surger. Again, wasn't expecting her to do nearly as do all that well, but she, in all of my running of all my other potential aces, I was like, oh, she's actually really consistent. So that is where we are at. But again, yeah, this CM is really just like you kind of hope for the best, more or less. There's not like there aren't really any like super crazy strategies. It's like, you know, there's it's really just like you hit whoever hits their skills. Specific, like there are like 4 core acceleration skills, and it's like whoever hits them wins. So we'll see what happens, but we'll take care of this really quickly, and then we can move on. Okay, so we are 7th, 8th, and 9th favorites, so that's good. That's great to see. Love that. Really sits a lot of confidence in this right now. A lot of confidence. Is Silent Suzuka a front runner or is it a runaway? I guess we'll find out in a second. I think it's a runaway. That would make the most sense. Right, gates are open. The race is on. These races are not long. It's 1200 meters, and so that is not a whole lot of time. You can see Sakura Bakushin and Fujikiseki both activating a bunch of skills and are right on top of the Silent Suzuka frontrunner, so that's good. We're actually in the lead here. Or yeah, Sakura Bakushin actually pulling ahead as we near the late stage of this race itself. Will we be able to hold strong to this position, or will we get overtaken? Fujikiseki currently dueling out for 2nd place and is actually starting to catch up to Sakura Bakushin just ever so slightly. Lights of Vaudeville does end up activating to give her a little bit of extra speed, but will it be enough for it to matter? It looks like it will. Fujikiseki actually is accelerating to a pretty decent degree, but King Halo coming in from the middle is going to overtake and just barely steal the lead from us and take gold. So we come in 2nd and 3rd, unfortunately. Man, that King Halo, especially because we dueled out. Like, that's actually kind of crazy. Damn, man. That's wild. So close. So close. Second, third, though. That's not the worst thing in the world. It's good start. We'll see how that keeps up. If Air Groove ends up not working out all too much, I might also switch to a Taiki Shuttle that I have as well. I have a Taiki Shuttle Pace Chaser. But like, I had high hopes for it, and then it was like, oh, this actually isn't doing all that well, so we'll see. But in all of my testing, Air Groove was like doing actually pretty well. I think with Air Groove specifically, it's gonna be really dependent on, like, it's really just gonna be dependent on skills. If we get our acceleration, awesome. If we don't, then we're just screwed. So, so we will see. We will see. Air Groove is, speaking of Air Groove, she is going to be rushed just a little bit. Not great, but it's a sprint, so who really cares, honestly. In a pretty decent place, gets into 6 passing Fujikiseki and activates Blazing Pride, so that might end up actually helping out. Meanwhile, though, our other 2 Pace Chasers are kind of being caught into the pack. Doesn't seem like either any of them are actually able to accelerate to any sort of relevant degree, unfortunately. Air Groove, though, is starting to come up, currently in 3rd place. Will she be able to accelerate any more? It doesn't look like it in the last 200 meters or so, but Air Groove does end up coming into solid 3rd place, so that's at least something, but it is not a win, unfortunately. Yeah, like in that time, none of our Pace Chasers really were activating any of their skills, so it's like, it's really gonna come down to, like, just who activates what, and if we don't get anything, then we don't get anything, and then that kind of sucks. Okay, late start from Fujikiseki, unfortunate, especially because this track is so short. Late starts are going to feel incredibly detrimental. Now, it looks like we don't have any other, there are no front runners in this race, so Sakura Bakshino is going to be the one that leads the charge, but that may actually end up being a that actually might be a blessing in disguise, because if we can hold on to this lead, then that will make all the difference. That being said, 600 meters left, and Sakura Bakshino is already starting to get overtaken. Just a little bit hot on her heels is Taiki Shuttle. Blazing Pride from Air Groove does end up coming out, but it doesn't look like it's going to be doing anything for the most part. We hit the late stage. Some of the other skills are starting to activate. Sakura Bakshino is starting actually to pull ahead, but on the outside is going to be King Halo on as a late surger. Will Sakura Bakshino be able to hold strong, or will King Halo overtake? And no, Sakura Bakshino will take first. Is able to hold on to that lead. Air Groove, actually pretty decent showing. Yeah, came in 3rd. That's actually pretty good. Very nice. That's 1 win. As per usual, the goal is 3 in an attempt. We need to win 60% of the races in order to proceed on to the next round. So that is 1 win out of 3. Can we get there? Really, I should just say it's best of 5. Like, you can see in all these races, a lot, like, that first race was a bit of an outlier because we had front runners, but it's mostly going to be pace chasers and it's going to be late surgers. That is the majority of our competition, I think. Also, another thing with this CM is that because it's a sprint, there aren't that many choices to pick from. Like, we have Kuro-chan, Sakura Bakshino, Taiki Shuttle, Fujikiseki, King Halo, Air Groove, Hishi Akamoto is there, I guess. I don't know if she's all that well equipped for sprint because I don't have her. But Kuro-chan, King Halo, Air Groove, and Sakura Bakshino, Taiki Shuttle, those are like the top 5 most common ones to see. So it is kind of interesting to see how it goes on. Now we get to the late stage of this race in general. Man, God, Kura-chan just blitzing out all the way into the lead. It doesn't look like any of our runners, though, are activating the things that they need to activate. And if they do, it's going to be too little too late. I think the best we can hope for is Fujikiseki coming in 3rd or 4th here. Very unfortunate to see. Yeah. We kind of just got like caught up in the pack. S plus. Oh my god. Oh my god. Holy goddamn. Holy goddamn. S plus. Oof. Big oof, yo. Well, that's one win. I should probably write these down. I need to know my win rates. Okay. 7番人気は7番。We'll just skip this one. スタートです。スマートファルコン、真っ先に飛び出した。もっと会場を興奮させないとね。ご指導ありがとうございました。Well, that's a win. That's cool. Okay. That is upsetting, honestly. So I have a couple options here. I could switch to Taiki Shuttle, in which she did okay, but it was Fujikiseki that kind of won out more so. That being said, it's hard to say. I think we'll run this again. Run this attempt again. Maybe tomorrow I might switch things up. I'm not gonna be making many more aces for this run for the CM just because I ran so many previously and it's like I put in a lot more work than I would have wanted for this CM. So I'm like, I was just gonna I made some and I was like, it's fine, it's whatever. 6番人気1番 All right. We have two front runners, Smart Falcon and Mihoto Bourbon for this race, which is actually really interesting. It will be interesting to see how well our pace chasers are going to be able to fight for their places here in this race because there are so many pace chasers. So it is kind of insane. That's I think the main reason why I don't want to run Taiki Shuttle. It's because we have two pace chasers already, and pace chasers is the main strategy. Well, it's like we just end up making things worse for us. Now, as we get to the late stage of this race, it looks like none of our runners are going to be able to pop their skills fast enough in order to accelerate into the lead. And unfortunately, this race looks like it will not work out for us. I think it's really important for us to try and get a bunch of skills to activate midways, so that way we can be in like the top 3, top 4. And then by the late race, we get the other accelerations, and then we can close out. But if we get mobbed in the pack, and our skills just don't go off, then we're screwed. Late start from Fujikiseki feels bad, honestly. So I looked it up actually in a previous, from all of our previous CMs, because the, what was it? Sagittarius Cup was so upsetting, because we got triple, I think we got triple late start or something like that, and I thought it was like, oh, that might be because our wit's too low. But late starts are actually, like, they have nothing to do with wit. They just, either they happen or they don't. And it feels really fucking bad that there's, like, no way to combat late starts other than just, like, just literally pure RNG. And that just feels so unbelievable. We get the late stage, Genius equals box shin, straightaway sprint straightaways as far as Victoria also end up activating, but it's Sakura box no, it looks like she doesn't quite have the acceleration to pick up and keep the lead that she had right at the beginning of the late race, and she is going to be coming in 4th. Man. 278 stamina. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. Huh. I mean, we're not, yeah, it's like, it's not, yeah. We're not losing in the power department, that's for sure. We're just barely losing out in the speed department, but yeah, it's just, our skills aren't activating. What can you do? Server is busy. What? Excuse me? Russian just a little bit, straightaway acceleration and fighter in the early race itself. We already have like 1,000 meters left. Sprinting here, we do see, alright, so we got some decent skills activating for Fujigiseki and Sakura Bakshino, currently in 2nd and 3rd. Air group currently making our way up into 5th place as we enter the halfway point of the race itself. Fujigiseki is dropping down a little bit, losing some of her speed, but it's not the worst thing in the world as we round the last corner to enter into the late race. Sakura Bakshino currently in 1st is going to jump up. An air group and Bakshino are actually going to be trading positions here for the most part, but air group has found the acceleration that she needs in order to launch herself all the way up into the lead, and will take a commanding presence and actually take gold in this race. Those are these skills that we need. There you go. Dude, 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. We close out. God damn, we close out. Alright, once again, that's 1 win. Can we get 2 more? I almost want to like tally up how many skills activate and see if how, like, what's the correlation between the amount of skill, like how many skills do we need to have activated in order for us to win and to close these races out. But I think like everything happens so quickly that it's that would be just such a pain to deal with, honestly. Right, this time Fujigiseki is on the inside, and currently I think in 2nd, 3rd place right now. Is going to be dropping down just a little bit, so it doesn't look like she can quite pull out. Lights of Vaudeville does end up going out though. Currently Fujigiseki right next to 2nd place. but you can see first place starting to pull ahead decently as we hit the last 400 meters. Will Fujii Kiseki be able to pull, accelerate, and catch up? It doesn't look like it, but it is going to be a little close. 200 meters left. Bakshino still in the lead, but Fujii Kiseki currently in second place, and that's gonna have to be the best she can do, unfortunately. Once again, only one win. Unfortunate. Alright, I think we'll swap Fuji out for... well, it's hard to say. Like, both Bakshin and Eru have gotten one win, but Fuji's got nothing. It's like, in theory, it'd probably be best to take out Fuji. I guess we'll have to see what the overall rates are and how they're actually placing. Rushing just a little bit, but is currently in 4th place, not too far behind. We have Smart Falcon all the way out in front. I don't think I saw a whole lot of early skills, unfortunately, so we will have to see if we get any of our mid-race skills to activate in order to help pull ahead and catch up to the lead here. Currently, right now, though, we do see both of our pace chasers just kind of stuck in the mid-pack right now, with Air Groove also coming in right behind. Blazing Pride activates a little bit late, but that actually might end up helping her as she starts to accelerate. Already in 3rd place, is going to be coming up very quickly, and it looks like the other two runners have topped out, but Air Groove still has some power left in the tank. But will it be enough to close the gap? It doesn't look like it, and unfortunately Air Groove coming in 2nd place, just not enough to catch up to El Condor Pasa. Oof. Alright, let's see here. 10, 20, 30, 0, 24. Let's take out Fujii Kiseki, and we are going to run... let's run this Taiki Shuttle. Let's try that. Wasn't expecting to run Taiki Shuttle, but we will see if that does any better. Amazon's here. Ishi Amazon's here. Where Ishi Amazon ran sprints. Alright. This race is looking fairly okay for the most part. Nothing too crazy. Sakabakino currently in 3rd, but Taiki Shuttle in the mid, as we hit the halfway points, is actually going to accelerate a little bit further to be almost right behind 2nd place. But will she be able to accelerate and catch up? Shooting for Victory ends up activating, so to give her maybe a little bit of extra, Bakshin, Genius Steins, Bakshin equals Victory also ends up activating, but our pace chasers are currently, Soccer Bakshino actually ends up dropping down a little bit, and we hit the late race. Taiki Shuttle's still, no, that's Soccer, oh, that's Bakshino. Bakshino is accelerating actually to a pretty decent degree. It's Taiki Shuttle that actually is the one that ended up dropping down once Shooting for Victory went off, so Bakshino is going to be the one that is going to take this win. Not entirely sure what happened to Taiki Shuttle, but she like sank like a stone. That was weird. That was so strange. How was that? What was Air Groove? Air Groove came 5th. Air group came 5th. What did Taiki Shuttle come in? Taiki Shuttle came in 7th. That was weird. That was so strange. Yeah, Shooting for Victory went off and she sank like a rock. I was not expecting that, actually. I was super surprised by that. Alright, late start for Air Group. Unfortunate to see, but we do have both of our pace chasers currently, with Boxino currently in 3rd, Taiki Shuttle in 4th. Pretty decent places overall to be as we enter the mid-race for this CM, or for this attempt. 800 meters left. Boxino currently in 3rd, trying to fight Taiki Shuttle and this Wedding Air Group. As we hit the 600-meter mark, we do see a bunch of accelerations for a lot of the other runners activating. Taiki Shuttle Shooting for Victory is gonna go off, but will we see what happened last time? And she just kind of sinks like a rock. Taiki Shuttle currently accelerating ever so slightly, but not. It doesn't look like it is going to be enough. Currently in 3rd place. I'm not sure if Taiki Shuttle is if she was blocked or what. Air Group currently still in the lead, with Taiki Shuttle currently is fighting for, as well as Boxin. Oh, but Air Group just is going to be taking it away from us. It is a runaway bride. Meanwhile, our Air Group just not getting there. Honestly, we might have to take out Air Group and put Fujikiseki back in. See? I think Air Group's win rate is going to be really dependent on, again, it's going to be dependent on the skills, but then also just trying to get into that decent position. But with all these pace chasers, I don't know if she's going to be able to get there, is my thing. Alright, we hit the midsection of this race. Air Group currently on the inside in 6th, followed by Taiki Shuttle, which is actually a little awkward place for both of our runners to be. Meanwhile, the Boxino currently in 2nd, fighting a mirror match is going to be pretty decent. Air Group gets Blazing Pride to give her a little bit of extra speed, but will it be enough? Taiki Shuttle currently in 6th, gets Professor Curvature and Tail held high, but is currently in 7th place and not going to be able to do anything. Current Chen all the way out in front is going to accelerate, and it looks like nobody's going to catch her, including our own Boxin O. And this Current Chen is going to be the one to take it from us. A little unfortunate because we do not have Current Chen, so we just gonna have to, that's just what we're gonna have to deal with. Boxin O and Air Group though coming in second and 3rd, so that's something. Yeah, Taiki Shuttle just she's like, it's weird that she just flatlines sometimes. That's insane. We have another Taiki that we can switch in, but I don't know if it's gonna make that much of a difference. We might have to honestly go back to Fujikiseki, honestly, and just kind of hope. Alright. Looks like I think there are 2 late surgers in the form of our Air Group and King Halo. I think also the problem with late surgers, so like running a late surge is already risky enough. But I think the biggest thing is that like if we don't have the acceleration, we literally just cannot catch up. And I think that's what's really happening with Air Group for the most part, is that she not only has to close the gap, but she also has to fight all the wall of pace chasers that also aren't able to make it either. So I think that's the most telling thing, honestly, overall. but we hit the late race. 400 meters left. Taiki Shuttle currently dueling out in second place, is trying to accelerate to a pretty decent degree, but Air Group coming in from the outside, currently in third place, trying to catch up and make a break for the lead. Will she be able to pull away? It looks like she can, and Air Group, proving me wrong, is going to be taking the win for this race, keeping us in the running still. That's 2 wins. We need 1 more. That's 2 wins. Can we get 1 more? Air Group keeping us above the water for this attempt. Yeah, the CM is really really hard. It's like everything's so, based off of these attempts so far, everything feels so unbelievably inconsistent. Like, it's insane that everything feels so inconsistent. So it's hard for me to gauge of like, okay, what do I need to change? Like, and what's working, what's not working, because everything just feels so unbelievably inconsistent. Right, double Air Grooves in the back currently as our 2 late surgers. Meanwhile, our 2 pace chasers, Bakshino and Taiki Shuttle, in 5th and 6th. Not the greatest place to be in, especially because we do have several other runners in the top 4 in the form of, I think, a couple front runners, no, 3 front runners, I think, and a pace chaser with Fine Motion, though that Fine Motion may also be a front runner. I'm not entirely sure. We get the last 400 meters. Bakshino currently in 4th place, but she is trailing behind significantly and cannot catch the others in this competition. And Dr. Bakshino is going to have to settle for, it's just going to have to settle for 4th place. Air Group in 9th, ouch. Okay. No, this was a Fine Motion pace chaser. Yeah, we just, like, couldn't get there. Like, just flat out, we just could not get there. Yeah. Man. This might honestly just be a wit thing, honestly, too. Like, our wits, like, you're supposed to have almost max wit, and, like, yeah, I think it's just a wit game, honestly. That's 2 wins. Okay. Swap this Taiki Shuttle out for this. We lose out. Our stats aren't as good, but we do have Sprint S, so that might do something. You also have this King Halo that I really wanted to try something as well, but in all of my testing, King Halo did not do very well, so it's like, eh. Let's try this. Let's try this Taiki Shuttle, see if that does anything. All right. Gates open. We have a pretty decent start early on in this race. I say that as both of our pace chasers drop down to 4th and 5th, which is not the greatest place to be in overall, but distance-wise, they actually aren't too far ahead from the lead itself. Dr. Bakshino currently rocketing up into 2nd place as we hit the halfway point. The Taiki Shuttle currently in 3rd. Air Group holding back in 6th right now. Is going to get the Blazing Pride, though, to hopefully try and pull something out here. Taiki Shuttle also gets shooting for victory. Currently in 3rd place. but we will have to see if that will end up doing anything for us as we hit the late stage. 400 meters left. Taiki Shuttle currently in 3rd place overall, but is starting to accelerate just a little bit. Enters up into 2nd, is going to enter into 1st, but Air Group coming in right next to her actually is going to fight for this lead, and it looks like it's going to be Air Group, followed by Taiki Shuttle just barely, but a win nonetheless. Good start to this attempt. 1 win out of 3. As much as I want to sub this air group out, this air group's actually doing very well. as much as I want to sub her out, this air group's doing quite well actually. I saw 8 pace chasers, 1 late surge, and that's ours. But there are 8 pace chasers. Alright, late start for Taiki Shuttle, unfortunate to see, but we do have Bakshin O coming out into the lead early on in this race. 1,000 meters left in the for this race overall. Air Group currently the lone late surger for this race is going to get rushed a little bit all the way in the back of the pack, with Taiki Shuttle currently being mobbed by all the other pace chasers and is going to be in 8th place. Sakura Bakshin is holding the league very strong, or pretty decently, but we will have to see how much will that matter, and will she be able to keep this lead in the last 400 meters. Blazing Pride from Air Group does end up activating, but she's all the way in the back in 7th place, but you can see her starting to accelerate. Sakura Bakshin, meanwhile, is also accelerating as well to a very steady rate, to a point where even everyone else is going to be evenly matched, and so nobody else can seem to catch up to her, and Sakura Bakshin is going to be taking the lead. That's 2 wins on our 2nd attempt. 2 wins on the second. That is 2 wins out of 3. Can we get a 3rd? We currently are 2-0 in this attempt. Alright. So, again, Sakura Bakshin, Air Group, doing very well. Fuji, Kiseki, and Taiki Shuttle actually doing pretty not great. It's a little disappointing, honestly. I almost want to remake at least one of them just to be better. Like, just to be better. But I don't know. Maybe I put in that King Kayla just to really see. Right. We enter the mid-race for this. Unfortunately, early race doesn't look like any of our runners are in that great of a position. You have Taiki Shuttle in 5th, followed by Bakshin in 7th. Air Group all the way out in 9th. But we do see Taiki Shuttle trying to find her line in the mid-pack for the most part. Is able to inch in all the way into 2nd as we get closer to the late race, and not too far behind 1st place as well. 400 meters left. Taiki Shuttle currently dueling out, is going to get a whole cavalcade of skills to activate late race, and that will shoot her all the way out into 1st place. There's 200 meters left. Can she hold on? You can see King Halo late surge coming in, trying to catch up, but Taiki Shuttle takes her 1st win and solidifies us for round 2. Just goes to show, it's just RNG. Can we get enough skills to activate to keep us in the lead? It really is just a roll of the dice. Interesting enough, Shooting for Victory didn't even go off, which was actually kind of surprising as well. That is Group A for round 2 in the books, which is good. That is a huge pressure off my shoulders, because now we can just sort of experiment and see what happens. Who knows? Maybe we can throw in King Halo next attempt. Maybe, who knows? Maybe it'll be more consistent. Who knows?
各馬娘綺麗なスタートを切りました。これは位置取りが熾烈になりそうですね。期待通りの結果を出せるか。1番人気6番。
Early on in this race, Taiki Shuttle currently in second, as but with the Marzinski all the way out in front is going to be a little upsetting. We will have to keep an eye to see how that will all play out. 800 meters left. Bakshino currently in fourth, not too far away from everything else, but she is kind of all the way in the middle of the pack itself. Meanwhile, Air Groove in 9th place is going to skirt up into 8th as we round the final corner. Blazing Pride does end up activating to give her a huge burst of acceleration at the last 400 meters, and we enter into the late race. Taiki Shuttle drops down. Doesn't look like any of her skills are going to activate, unfortunately, and it looks like Sakura Shino also isn't going to be getting a whole lot to activate, and it looks like all three of our runners have sort of plateaued in this late race. And it will be a loss in this race, unfortunately. 4th, 5th, and 7th.
共に勝つぞ。9番、大気シャトル。
Right, gates open. See how many of our skills end up activating early on in this race. Turbo Sprint for Taiki Shuttle and Boxing L, along with the Sprint Stratus with Air Groove. Looks like early on in this race, not too many skills are going to be activating. You can see a lot of our opponents activating a bunch of other skills, and while it's kind of here and there. Hopefully by the mid and late race we can kind of make up that difference, but at that point it might be too little too late, honestly. Overall, we enter into the final corner into the late race. Blazing Pride for Air Groove does end up going off, and we can see a lot of our skills activating in this late race. Air Groove and Bakshino currently in 2nd and 3rd. Air Groove all the way blast all the way out in front. This is where we take the lead here. Sakura Bakshino currently fighting a mirror match is going to come in 2nd, but Air Groove has already crossed the line. What we lacked in the earlier race, we made up in the end, and that is what gave us that win. And that is another win for Air Groove. Yeah, so from what it looks like, Taiki Shuttle and Fujikiseki both just kind of like real weak, unfortunately. It's actually really upsetting overall. Oh, that's it. That was the last one. That was the last attempt. Hey, nice. All right. Okay, cool. Oh, I didn't realize that was the last attempt. I thought we had one more still. I miscounted. But okay, yeah. Overall, not too bad for the most part. Taiki Shuttle, Fujikiseki, I'm actually a little disappointed. Yeah, she came in 2nd, 3rd. Like, that's not bad. Taiki Shuttle won. Granted, it's a little different because like Fujikiseki has 5 more races. But overall, like, it is a little upsetting. We maybe will try Fujikiseki again. Because again, 2 2nd place, 2 3rd place, that's really not bad overall. Like, it's really not that bad. Sakura Bakshino and Air Groove, though, did pretty decently overall. Like, I'm not too upset by that. If anything, I think come tomorrow, I might take Taiki Shuttle out, putting King Halo just as like a, hey, who knows, let's try it. We've already made it to Group A, so I'm not too upset. But yeah, it's like we might as well try, see maybe if that will do anything to have double late surger, 1 pace chaser. And if that ends up not working as well, I might honestly just put Fujikiseki back in or try some of the other Fujikisekis that I have as well. Maybe some of those will actually end up being a little bit better because we have... oh, I actually have only one other Fujikiseki. I have this one. So maybe we give this one a try, see maybe if it does anything. It can't hurt. 1, 2, 7, 13. Yeah, 13 as well. So, actually 12 because Hanshin's not gonna talk. So. Yeah, maybe we try this S rank Fujikiseki tomorrow as well, just to see maybe if it'll do anything. I took this one just because this was performing a lot more consistently than than this one, but you know, who knows? We can. I mean, based off the races that we ran, you know, this was the more consistent Taiki Shuttle, and it didn't win a race compared to this one. This one actually won a race, so I don't know. Who knows? So we'll try some stuff. We made it to Group A, so I'm happy. It's not like, so that's kind of whatever. Like, we have the luxury of experimentation now, so that's good. That's all well and good. But I'm gonna be right back, and then we can switch to Dragon Age.